And a warm welcome back to the main stage here at the Emerson booth at Hannover Messe 2025. And I'm very, very delighted to be joined by Phil Bond for this final interview here on our live stream today. Phil is president of Discrete Automation for the EMEA region for Emerson. And if I understand correctly, Phil, that's quite a new function for you.
That's right. I started sort of early January this year, but I'm 28 years in Emerson already, mainly in the process instrumentation business, and then, as I said, at the start of this calendar year, moved across to Discrete Automation. So it's been a bit of a whirlwind. I've spent a lot of time running around Europe, getting to know our footprint and our people and our sales teams. Yeah, so it's been
very exciting stuff.
Very exciting ride.
And how has the week at the fair been, at the Hannover Messe?
This is great. This was my first opportunity to really be at Hannover Messe, so it's kind of mind-blowing.
See everyone in action.
See everybody in action. See what's out there, see how the industry is moving, and the energy that is here has been a really pleasant surprise, and the amount of interest there is in the business going forward is very encouraging.
I think everybody always leaves here very inspired and energized for sort of the next 6 or 8 months of the year.
Hopefully longer.
This year, obviously, Emerson is continuing its journey and focused on transforming the future of manufacturing with its famous floor-to-cloud. I'm going to say it's famous by now, floor-to-cloud approach. But Phil, so much is always happening at breakneck speed in the world of industrial automation when we look at what the developments are in AI, et cetera. How would you say you've seen manufacturing actually change or evolve just over the past year?
Well, we've seen a lot of impacts globally of different dynamics on the industry, across many industries, not just manufacturing. But I'd say one constant change that has been there is around companies needing to digitally transform as we go forward to remain competitive, to stay ahead, to continually drive productivity and efficiency gains. We reckon about 90% of large companies have some kind of digital transformation initiative underway, but probably only 30% of those are really able to deliver at any scale.
So what is it that's still keeping those companies from actually scaling up?
Well, there's a number of items, but first of all, a lot of companies don't necessarily know where to start. So it's just it can be a really big topic, so you have to get focused and understand where you want to go to start with. But if we then zero into where Emerson can help with the floor-to-cloud strategy and deployment that we've now seen over the last few years, what we're really helping customers do is to enable them to deploy and scale, is to really sort of unlock that trapped data, so between that physical layer, the floor, and the cloud, so that they can actually then get that data where they need to, so they can make data-driven decisions of the moment. So there's been this inability, if you like, to connect the physical system, the operating technology layer, up through the cyber layers into IT.
Since there are so many companies that haven't been able to get started on that journey yet, perhaps you can just give us sort of the quick summary, in a nutshell version of what floor-to-cloud really is.
Sure, and you heard earlier on, a couple of words like ecosystem, et cetera, but effectively it was a vision and now a deployed strategy that is integrating the intelligent device, the controls, then through the edge computing at the industrial scale, and then into the software-defined automation, really getting that information to the cloud. And that really, for the manufacturers, unlocks that access to that trapped data that they haven't been able to see or reach before, gives them visibilities and insights then to make those quick decisions I talked about a second ago, and then really to automate and perform tasks at a higher speed or better productivity or efficiency.
And what about, give us perhaps some concrete examples of how some of your customers are actually transforming their operations using this approach? Well,
you also heard that we had a couple of customers on stand here in the, in the last talk. So, but I'll give you another couple of examples. So there's
some that we haven't seen or heard before yet, just in these couple of days.
Yeah, exactly. So, for example, a global OEM in engineering was using a multimedia sort of monitoring system.
OEM, for anyone who is
original equipment manufacturer. So they'll be building machines, then going on to an end user, for example. Thank you for the We love acronyms.
We love acronyms, don't we? But we do always have to explain them.
I have a dictionary of acronyms.
I'm glad to hear that. That makes me feel better.
147 of them. But that upgrade made it possible for the OEM's customer rather to gather and distribute that information around their compressed air and steam data, and they haven't been able to do that before. But then for the OEM, of course, it gives them an advantage in that they can fulfill their commitment for their customers in helping them fulfill their needs stay ahead of the industry challenges or the industry trends, or even the governance that goes onto those industries. So the OEM then helps the end user achieve those goals and optimize their plants through our technology.
Mm-hmm. Now, we've heard lots of things, obviously, energy efficiency, cutting costs, data optimization, all kinds of things, but give us also, again, some concrete examples of what kinds of advantages companies are actually seeing from this transformation.
There are many.
Also, many, obviously, and it's incremental for many players, isn't it?
It can be, but then you could see, like, I'll give you three where you see sizable sort of impact, these advantages that the customers are seeing from this transformation, where we've been able to deploy the floor-to-cloud solution for them. Sustainable growth being one is obviously very important for companies today. We have to report on that. They're trying to drive their energy costs down. So we can help them achieve carbon neutral manufacturing, for example, by identifying and prioritizing those areas where there's maybe energy waste. You heard earlier about energy management and a lot of work going there with our, in the first section of this cast. Secondly, then maximizing performance and quality, boosting manufacturing performance through adopting that data-driven approach, so you can make the quicker decisions and make adjustments on the fly as you need to. That's not been really possible before. And then, of course, that unleashes then workforce productivity, because then you can really have maximize your worker potential by using our advanced technologies or the data at hand to prevent downtime and change the speed of changeovers should they be needed.
And give us an idea also just how flexible it is. Is there a certain type or size of company that's particularly well suited to this approach, or is it really absolutely applicable everywhere?
It's really applicable everywhere. Yeah. So, and I think we also saw that earlier in the chats, that you can start very small, even small company, scale up to sort of many applications. We've seen customers, for example, a bottling example, where they started at a pilot scale, got a great ROI on the implementation of floor-to-cloud, and then they deployed that on basically their ongoing strategy, and it's actually in their design data as they go forward. So you do see that, and you also see that through our portfolio and our engineering expertise, it's allowing our customers to innovate with us and move forward.
Mm-hmm. How has the success of this sort of real-world floor-to-cloud approach actually changed the Emerson team's approach?
That's a great question. Well, you see it in action here.
We do see it in action.
We
That's
definitely
why
see
I'm
it in action here. And working very closely with our customers as they look to scale, we need to scale with them. Mm-hmm. So we also engineer with them. We're happy to design and look at their unique processes and make sure we can deliver a solution that really delivers the end result for the customer.
And just to close off this discussion, Phil, because we've all had a long day, and we're gonna bring this broadcast to an end pretty quickly. But I do want to hear from you what you're looking forward to over this next year as you embark on this first year in this function, but also just to dealing with your many customers and implementing these strategies further.
Well, sure. I mean, first of all, for me, it's really achieving those goals for the customers around the sustainable growth, maximizing their productivity, their quality, and unleashing that workforce potential. We're really in this journey now. You've heard and you've seen that we've got absolutely deployable and tangible results here, and just seeing how that's going to scale up in the future, working with our customers, is really exciting. And then from a personal standpoint, of course, I've still got a lot more to learn and get out there with the teams into the market, and meeting our customers here has been a perfect opportunity.
Well, it's been really lovely to have this opportunity to chat with you and to see so much positive energy and action here. Phil Bond, President of the Discrete Automation, EMEA. And thanks so much for joining me here on the main stage at Hannover Messe.